La clase, cuatro. In this lesson, we're going to look at 4 activities that are typical to do in a class, and 4 that really are not. But I put them in here because it's a good place in the course. We're going to learn how to figure out our height and our weight in kilos and in centimeters. Whereas in English, we would do pounds and inches and feet. The majority of the world does it a little bit different, so I want us to look at that. So to measure ourselves, we're going to do that. In my own classroom, I have a piece of tape that runs up the wall that we will measure ourselves with at the beginning of the year, so we have an idea how we can communicate our height in meters and centimeters. I also have a Weight Watchers scale that you can click back and forth between pounds and kilos, so we know what our weight is as well. And I'll show you, you don't even need to have a scale. You can just figure it out mathematically. So I'll give you that easy math equation too to be able to figure out our weight as well as our height. 4 activities you may do in a classroom is conseguir un marcador, which is to get a marker. In my classroom, certainly we use whiteboards and we write on our desks as well with markers. Sacar una hoja de papel, to get out, a piece of paper. Guardar sus cosas, to put away your things, to guard, to keep, to put away. Usually as students, you put your things away in your mochila, in your book bag. Sometimes you're going to want to put it in your locker. And poner la prueba en el estante. Estante is a shelf. And poner is to put. Put the test on the shelf. So these are 4 verbs that you might do in class, which is to get, to remove, to take out, to put away, and to put something someplace. These next 4 you typically won't do in a classroom, but in my case you would. And in your case, it's good to know. ¿Cuánto mides? Is a question. How much do you measure? Literally, the question in English would be, how tall are you? How much do you measure? And you would say, I measure 1.80 meters. 1.80 centímetros. And that's going to differ, obviously depending on your height. But you're going to answer mido, and then you put in your height. ¿Cuánto pesas? How much do you weigh? Peso 92 kilos. I weigh 92 kilos. So pesar is to weigh, mides is to measure, conseguir un marcador, to get a marker, sacar una hoja de papel, to get out a piece of paper, guardar sus cosas, to put away your things, poner la prueba en el estante, to put the test on the shelf, ¿cuánto mides? How tall are you, or how much do you measure? Mido 1.80 metros. I measure 1.80 centimeters. ¿Cuánto pesas? How much do you weigh? Peso 92 kilos. I weigh 92 kilos. If you were to ask ¿cuánto pesas? In English, 2.2 pounds is 1 kilo. So, if you weigh 192 pounds, you're going to divide that by 2.2 and you have your kilos. That's your weight. Most of the world would discuss their weight in kilos, not in pounds. So if you're 192, or whatever your weight is, divide it by 2.2, and that's going to be your kilos. And this is your height. ¿Cuánto mides? Is how tall are you, or how much do you measure? 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, centímetros. So if you're 5 feet 11, 5 feet times 12 inches is going to be 60 inches. Then you add the other 11 inches. So someone who's 5 feet 11 is 71 inches tall. 71 inches times 2.54 centimeters is 180 centimeters. So, if you're 5'11", you're 180 centimeters tall. So someone asks you, ¿cuánto mides? You can say, mido, I measure, 180 centímetros, 180 centimeters, 180 centímetros. Or, typically what they'll say is, yo mido, I measure, mido 1.80 metros. I measure 1.80 meters. That's typically how you're going to respond to that. Mido 1.80 metros, or just 1.80 metros. To recap the lesson, we have 4 phrases that are typical activities done in a classroom and 4 that are not, but they're important. To get a marker, conseguir un marcador, to get out a piece of paper, sacar una hoja de papel, to put away your things, guardar sus cosas, to put the test on the shelf, poner la prueba en el estante. How tall are you? ¿Cuánto mides? I measure 1.80 meters. Mido 1.80 metros. How much do you weigh? ¿Cuánto pesas? I weigh 92 kilograms. Peso 92 kilos. Those are the phrases. That's our lesson. Things you may do in a clase.